So first of all, this is my microphone. It's quite broken.
It's a
and,
tripod. Or a little thingy dingy.
I've been drinking a lot of this right now, so I'm sort of drunk, and I'm feeling really down, like extremely down, and I will tell you why. It's 'cause
I think he has my
my entire
basically.
life I've been treated quite bad. I should also say, like, this is a warning. My English is not that good, and like, I'm just, I feel really alone, and I felt like I was gonna search YouTube for people with the same issue as me, and that is being really unattractive. And I've been having lots of issues with that, because every video I come across is with a really attractive or normal person, and they have no idea how it really is. So first of all, right now I'm putting up quite of a show. So if you think that I look pretty good right now, it's because I'm doing my absolute best to show you that I look good. It's also the cam. So first of all,
What is he showing me?
my teeth are fucked up, and
Okay.
I'm pushing forward my jaw all the time.
He's pushing forward his jaw all the time.
I have extremely much loose skin.
This dude looks like Adam Driver.
This is nothing I can do anything about. I've been checking this a lot. I have so much loose skin, it makes me look terrible.
All right. First off, he's not ugly, and he's picking parts of himself that people aren't thinking about. Like, nobody's going, oh, look at that loose skin. Ooh, I could really pull it real hard. This is the type of stuff that shallow people care about. Now, listen, I understand that everybody is attracted to certain attractive qualities that they see on Instagram and movies or whatever movie stars have. But for the majority of physical attractiveness, it's really, honestly, hygiene, grooming, and your health, how fit you are. Honestly, that's it. And yes, that doesn't mean you're going to look like Brad Pitt or Kendall Jenner or something like that after you take care of those things. But nobody looks like Brad Pitt or Kendall Jenner. Most people look like him or like me, normal people. It kind of upsets me because what's going through my head right now, just like you're seeing me think about stuff. I know exactly what he's talking about. It's not like I'm acting like I can't see that he's not incredibly beautiful or something like that. When you grow up and you kind of get bullied and you're not in the cool group or whatever in high school, then you go onto the internet and then you find these kind of dark sides of the internet like Red Pill and Incel or whatever it is, and all they complain about is how they're not that good looking, they're not tall enough, their jaw is not strong enough, like he says, I don't have a chin or whatever he's trying to say. It's so much focus on the vanity that they realize that yes, people are interested in looks. That's obvious. Yes, people are always going to be interested in looks. We're visual people. It's not all of it. And this is a huge and, your personality decides so much of your looks. It's kind of like how they say 80% of taste is your smell. You know, like if you're eating a nice pepperoni pizza, 80% of how good that tastes is how it's smelling to you. And I know this from firsthand experience. You know, I have been coaching for years, and I have been working on my social skills and on my dating skills for years to know 80% of your attractiveness is your personality, how you're presenting yourself. The rest really is how you were born, whether you have stretchy skin like he does, or a strong jaw like he says he doesn't, or whatever it is. Is he looking for, like, to date a supermodel or something? Why? What is the reason for that? There are so many beautiful, beautiful people in the world for him to be with, for him to date, that I believe would find him very attractive. And I'm not listen, I just don't want you to think I'm going to be one of those people that's like, oh, there's going to be somebody for him. There's always somebody for him. That's what the incels hate to hear. That's what red pill guys hate to hear. No, I'm saying it is how you present yourself. Instead of talking about how ugly he is, I'd want him to work on how he presents himself. His health, his hygiene, his grooming, and then especially his purpose in life and his presence, and then his social skills. I mean, I can't say it enough. I mean, honestly, he kind of looks like Adam Driver, like when I look at him. And I'm thinking, like, if Adam Driver didn't have that intensity in his acting, if Adam Driver didn't have that, like, intense presence and purpose when he interacted with people, I mean, he would come off the same way this guy does. He would have that same vibe, and I would say Adam Driver looked exactly the same as him. Adam Driver kind of takes what he has. He takes that interesting looking face that he has, which I think is good looking, but it is definitely unusual. And he takes his personality and he takes what he has and he presents it in such a strong way that suddenly he turns into a really attractive guy. And that's what I'm saying here. Now listen, I'm sure he's going to keep explaining it. I'm sure he's going to talk about how the world's and society's focus is on so much on vanity, and I understand that, but let's keep going.
I have a big forehead and my hair is making me look really good, but if you would take away the hair, like...
No, I'm sorry,
I
dude.
got pretty bad posture. I have a really big, bulky nose.
Me too.
And my lower lip is a lot bigger than my higher lip. Like, my higher lip is normal, the rest is not. So I'm using my hair, I'm letting it grow out so it covers.
Yeah.
And then I use a hat to hide my pan, my
working
eyebrows,
too hard
everything is like, I do not look good. I've never in my entire life had anyone telling me I look good. If I look from this side, like this, push forward my jaw, maybe on cam I look a little bit better, but people in person, they see my nose, they see my lips, they see my tooth, they see everything, they see this, they see that I'm not looking that good. I get so much critic, and I'm gonna tell you the story of my life, how to say it, of how I've had it. And also I should tell you, I may look quite bad, but there are people that have it hundreds times worse. So I'm not comparing myself to the worst of the worst. I'm just here to tell my story because I know lots of people on YouTube, they are like looking on these, they're trying to find someone to relate to, and they can't, because every person in the video is a girl, or it's a guy that looks decently alright, like he doesn't have a big nose or big lips or anything, he doesn't, it's always something. I had a very big trouble having friends as younger. Everyone always avoided me, found ways to get rid of me, and I sorta didn't care back then. And I got some friends when I was maybe... how old was I? I think I was like... I'm sorry if this takes time. It's hard to talk to me about. This isn't scripted or anything. This is actually real. I was around 13 when I got my first serious friends. I was 13, 12 to 13. And they were like 16 to 18, beautiful alpha males. And like, they were the first ones to start calling me ugly. Males. And that was quite a shady neighborhood, so it's like, they were with me because my mom gave them cigarettes and stuff, so they were like my guardians, sorta. and they were the first people to call me ugly. And things went on, and I ended up in school. I remember first time I started, I was never like caring about girls. Girls were like meh, because I remember being young, they chased around the other guys at the schoolyard, and they were like pretending like the girls were trying to kiss the boys, and the guys were like ew. And I remember how they all chased each other, and no one chased me, so I was just standing there being like, what the fuck?
I mean, that
I
happened
guess
to me
there's something
too.
wrong with me. I was like the only one at that time that was like, oh, I sort of wish a girl would chase me.
Me too.
But that didn't happen. So
When I was a kid, when I was in grammar school, all my friends had girlfriends. This was like 3rd grade or something, 4th grade. I remember praying to God every night to give me a girlfriend. No girls liked me.
So yeah. Let's see. I should just cut to the chase. When I was 15, I started liking girls, like being interested in girls, and God, this is so difficult. This is so difficult making. Because I'm also drunk, and I don't really know if I want to make this. I'm trying to do this anyway. So, okay, wait. I need to get into the... Whew.
I just hate seeing his pain.
When I was 15, I
the
realized
fucking
that I
microphone.
wanted to have love in my life. I was 15 years when I realized I wanted that. And like the amount of people that rejected me is astonishing. It's unexplainable. I remember I was 15, I went to school, I was socially inactive, I was a bit overweight. That's where all this comes from, because I was a little bit on the overweight side. So I was a bit heavier, not much heavier, but I was heavier. And let's see, I think the total sum from when I was 15 to 17 was well over 400-500 girls that I wrote with, that I tried to get into a relationship with. And that's not normal girls. I've never gone for the normal attractive girls. I knew from the start, like, they are not for me. They set these standards that are so high. They want attractive guys that are smart and funny and everything. So I set up, like, I tried to write with girls, and I wrote with girls that were overweight, that didn't look so good. Some of them had a big nose like me, some had big lips, some had shorter hair. I even wrote with about, I think it was like three girls that were handicapped. No, this time I was between 15 to 17 years, so I was quite young. And every single one called me ugly. Every single one.
What?
And some of them were straight up honest with it and said that you're not my type or you're ugly. That's like, if someone says you're not my type, that's the nicest way someone can say that you're ugly. So always heard, you're not my type.
First of all, no. If somebody says you're not my type, they mean you're not my type. Could be his personality. Why isn't it not his personality? What is he so proud about his personality for? Is his personality the best thing in the world? That it could never be his personality. Maybe it's those glasses. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that he has the microphone coming out of his shirt. Does he go on dates with that microphone coming out of his shirt? But listen, I get it. I just, and my heart is breaking for this guy. And I can see that he's young. And something that I realized, because I was a really late bloomer too, and I realized when he really hits adulthood, especially like 25, you start looking like a man, and all of those features that he has will somehow grow into themselves. Like for me, when I was a kid, I hated my nose. I was so insecure about my nose. Like I remember, and this is like really embarrassing to say, when I was in 7th grade is when I actually started kind of like making like friends, cooler friends. Everyone that I was making friends with were like really good looking. And then little me, imagine the same person with the same nose, except for this nose stayed the same and my body was like half the size. I was so insecure about it. And I remember like crying to my mom. And I remember even being like, I want a nose job. And I don't think I was serious about it. I probably wouldn't have gone through with it. But in the heat of the moment, I really wanted a nose job. And my mom, so loving, literally the next day, I still remember, she printed out pictures from like the library or maybe off the internet on her computer of all celebrities that had like big fucked up noses, that were like celebrities that everyone loved and everyone knew about. And she goes, look here. Do you see him? Do you see his nose? Everybody loves him. Look at Tom Cruise. Look at his nose. And I was like, all right. Anyway, I struggled a lot with my looks. But listen, as you start turning 22, 23, 24, 25, you kind of grow into your features. You start looking more like a man. Like I'll bet you features that he has right there, in 5 years, he's going to like those features, right? I love my nose now. I think it looks dope. I think it's what makes me unique. I own my nose. My nose is a part of me the same way my personality is a part of me. I'm an individual because of what I have. It's how I own it. It's how I use it that makes me who I am. So I look at this kid and God, it's like I feel so sad for him and how much pain I could see that he's been through and how much rejection he's went through. First of all, whoa! When he was in his teens, he asked out hundreds of girls. I was so shocked. I literally never asked out anybody. Even for like prom and stuff, I was so scared to ask somebody out. I never did. I was blown away that guys were able to ask girls out to prom. It was the scariest thing for me. So big ups to him, the fact that he was able to even ask people out.
Writing with people who had it difficult, who were sad, and like who didn't have it easy. And that's when I first met the first girl in my life that wanted to be with me. And I spent 7 years with that girl, and I regret it very much, because that was a girl that treated me so badly and was just using me. She called me ugly. She forced me to walk 5 to 10 meters behind her. She'd never hold my hand. She never kissed me. She never did anything to show appreciation of me. She just simply used me. And it was not a good relationship. She never cared about me. She was always angry, aggressive. And for the first half year, she didn't really want to be in an actual relationship with me. She just wanted to be with me. We had sex and we had fun, I guess, sorta. Except when we went outside, when I was forced to go behind her. And then we went into a relationship, and she did everything for, I think it was 3 or 4 years. She forgot my birthday. She was cheating on me. She was flirting with other guys online.
Yeah, it's not a real relationship.
I always did everything I could. When I gave her 20 minutes massages on her back every day, even though I was sick. I am sick in my body as well. Like I'm not gonna take that up right now because it's not that major. But back then it was when it sort of started. So I was not really feeling that well. I was weak. I was sad. But I gave it my all. I tried to be a good boyfriend. I gave her a massage. I bought her presents when I had money. I spent my time with her. I altered my personality for her so she wouldn't feel that it was weird. I tried my best to be the perfect I could, and she always told me, "You're not enough," or like, "You're not good enough," or things like that. She always told me that. And this is how it was for about 3 years, or 4 years. Then I moved, and she didn't move with me. She was like, "It's not worth it. If you move, it's over." So I moved, it was over. And then she started calling me and being like, "You should take me back because you are unlovable." I remember those words so clearly. "You are unlovable."
What the hell?
That's the worst thing I ever felt. And I was like, screw this. Nope. And I was alone in a cabin in the middle of nowhere in the woods. It's a movie, I know, but I was literally living in a cabin. I have an actual video of it when I recorded like back then, because I have other YouTube channels. This is a new thing. And she called me. It was after like a few weeks, the first month. She was like, "Take me back. You're unlovable. You should be with me." I was like, "Nope." And I met.
Good.
That's the first time I started writing again with new girls. It had been 3 years or almost 4. I had lost weight. I had started exercising more. I was a bit stronger. Things were a little bit easier, like living, and I was also developing my alcoholic problem. I mean, you can't say alcoholic because it's not that bad, but like I was drinking a lot. Anyway, I lived in that cabin, and I started writing with new people in my area, which was really not many. I had to like take the closest town. It was an hour away, but like I managed to find a girl there. And by that time, I met her. We were just friends. It was chill. She was actually a terrible human being. She was like, she only cared about money, how people look. She wanted to have a guy that took care of her and all that. So I didn't really feel anything for her. We were just friends. But in the end, she was 17 and I was 20. So it was like sort of, so like, I remember I bought lots of alcohol to her, and she was like, "Keep some of this, we're gonna use this later." And so I kept some of it, and she then one time visited me in the woods. She spent her night with me, and we laughed, we drank, we had fun, and we had sex. And that's the first time I felt accepted I felt like I had hope in my life. There are people out there who will look past how you look and be with you even if you're unattractive. And it doesn't even matter to what degree of unattractive you are, because there will be girls that will not really care. The problem is finding them, which is I would say that depends on the country. If you're in a country with extremely lots of tourism, extremely good economy, everyone are decently rich, like everyone are decently beautiful, all that, maybe it's time to look into future plans and move to another place where you can find more unattractive people, because that's sort of what you want. Anyway,
I thought I was going to start agreeing with him when he started saying stuff like, yeah, maybe you should find the type of people that don't care so much about looks. And what I hear from that is don't care so much about vanity, because I know that true attraction is a feeling. It's an all-around feeling. It's not something where you just go, oh, that person's good looking, I'm attracted to that person. That's not attraction. That is literally just vanity. That is you just saying that person is attractive to society standards, and I would feel good about myself if that person validated me by being with me so the world could see how good I am. That's not attraction. Attraction is a feeling. It's a moment where you are in front of that person, you're interacting with that person, and you just feel a pull towards them. That's attraction. I don't believe that it's these first world rich countries with a lot of tourism where it's only vain people and only good-looking people only want good-looking people. Yes, listen, I'm not going to say that he's not 100% false, but this is the exact type of talk that people in red pill and incel communities discuss. They say this is how people are, and if you want different kind of people, go to like a different country where there's like, this is what they talk about. It's not about that. It's about your own focus. It's about who you are looking for. Where are the communities that you are spending time? Who are you looking to be with? What values do they have? Okay? What purpose, what value can you bring to that community? That is where attraction is built. If your life is so focused on how could I be the most attractive, in other words, fitting society's standards of what people think is good looking, what is beautiful, if you are living that life, you will never be happy. Even if you do end up with a person that also fits society's standards and you guys get married and you have a little family, you still won't be happy because that's not what creates happiness. You're always gonna feel that extra pang for something more that vanity can't give to you.
This girl and I was friends a few weeks, and or were, well, friends with benefits, and then we sort of broke contact and stuff. She was one of those people that were like, I get bored of people easily, so it was like, eh. So we didn't really stay friends. Anyway, uh, after that time, I sort of got really annoyed of being alone, and my ex wanted to come and visit me, the girl I was with for all those years that treated me so bad. And I was so weak, so I said okay. And I spent another it was about 3 years. I've spent 7 in total with her, so it was about 3 more years with her. And those years sort of improved quite a lot. They were a lot better than the first 3 years, so it wasn't that bad. But it didn't work out because I was so unhappy. I was extremely unhappy. It felt like we had nothing in common. She was always angry, moping, complaining, and she didn't feel good, and I didn't feel good. We were just tearing each other down, and I couldn't forget all the things in the past. And like we had nothing in common except just being angry on each other. So we broke up, and that was about 5 months ago now. And I moved past everything quite easily. So 1 month ago, after we broke up, I started to try and date again.
Now, I don't know him at all, but I've interacted with people a lot throughout my life, and I could usually size up somebody in the first few minutes, and I'm going to say right here, this guy is just not happy. I don't have a feeling that when he meets somebody feels inspired by him. Somebody feels a sense of purpose in his life. I don't think that when somebody meets him, somebody feels a sense of presence in his life where he is truly appreciating the moment at all times. Now, I think what was so healthy for him to do is go to that cabin and spend a lot of time alone and kind of reconnect with nature, because I think that is a great teacher for becoming present and appreciating his surroundings at all times. Part of me thinks that's partly why he did meet the girl that he did and why they did hook up in the way that they did. I do feel that he falls into this neediness, into this loneliness constantly, which is why he got back with that ex, that very, very toxic ex. When you are so purposeful in life, when you're healthy, and when you are present at all times, it's very hard to feel lonely. Just is. Now, I know that humans are social people, and we love being around other people, and we love relationships. but in the way that I think he experiences life and the way he experiences loneliness. I just truly believe that if he was spending his life being as purposeful as possible, being as present as possible, and focusing as hard as he could on building relationships built on values. Why is it that his girlfriend seemed to be such a vain, shallow person, and then the next girl that he had sex with ended up being a very vain, shallow person? Why does he seem to gravitate towards those people? I don't gravitate towards those people. In fact, I gravitate towards people that are the opposite of vain, of shallow. I am always going towards people that share my values. Listen, you could see me getting really kind of passionate and intense about this, and it might come off like I'm like angry at him or something like that. All of my clients know that when I get like this is my love for him. This is my feeling of wanting to be there for him and help him and talk to him and work this out and freaking hug this guy. I feel so bad, and I wish I could help him, and I just wish so bad that I could get him to see my perspective. And that's why I wrote that audiobook, Iconic, like I did, and kept it free, because it sounds like a commercial, but I wrote that audiobook and made it free. It's because I know people experience life like this so often, and the little tiny audiobook that I have is kind of like made to be this shot to your head, to your ego, and kind of shifting the way you think about life and the way you think about relationships so easily. Anyway, I want to keep going on with his story.
And the bombardment of "you are ugly" or "not my type" was so unreal.
I don't want to say that I don't believe him or that he's lying, that people call him ugly. I'm sure they did. But the fact that he says "you're ugly" / "you're not my type," and then before when he said "you're not my type" means you're ugly, leads me to think that maybe he got a lot of, mostly 99% "you're not my type" and maybe 1 or 2 "you're uglies." Not to say that isn't a horrible thing to be called ugly. It's fucking horrible. But I don't know. Let's keep going.
Tell you a few things that I've been through. I've met people that are girls that are extremely overweight and don't look well as well, and they tell me, "You're not my type, you're way too ugly," or they make up an excuse like, "Oh, you didn't text me the same day, I can't have you as a contact," and they do anything to get rid of you. And then there was this time when I had a date with a girl, and I had spent lots of money on making a perfect day together. Like, I had set up everything perfectly, and I went on the subway over an hour, and I stood on the train station, and I looked for her for 2 hours before I was like, okay, she gave up. And then I went home, and then she wrote that
Sucks.
When she saw me, I was so ugly, she didn't have the encouragement to talk to me.
Maybe it's just so hard for me to grasp that people actually say this to people. Because I've never heard anybody talk like this before and be that mean. I just never have really seen it, except for in like high school and middle school and stuff. And I understand that. But being an adult, even in college, it's kind of unheard of for me. And I'm not saying for me personally, like nobody, like I've never seen anybody call anybody ugly in the way that he's talking about it. Not to say that I don't believe him. I'm trying to accept that this is a real thing because it's such a horrible story.
And now I made an algorithm for a site that's like Tinder, but it's called Bado. It's like Tinder pretty much, where I automatically love every person, no matter who. It's like a special algorithm for a program that I made, so that I click a button and it likes 600 people every day, which is the limit. And I've done that for over 10 days, so I know easily it's over 6,000 people that I have liked on that side, like and wants to write with. No one, not a single one, has responded.
Well, first of all, I mean, when you do that to the dating app algorithm, it rates your profile incredibly low. But number two, I mean, if these are the pictures that he's putting out, then yeah, I understand it. I mean, he's kind of looking pretty goofy in this picture. And I really don't think it has to do with his looks as much as the way he's presenting himself. The type of pictures. I have really spent a ton of time with online dating, and it is a very weird world, but I've learned how to make it work for myself and for people that I teach. I have a feeling that it was his pictures and not his looks. And I also have a feeling that he fulfills his own prophecies. He says, I'm ugly, so he takes bad pictures of himself to say, see, I'll show you how ugly I am, to himself. He puts out bad pictures, nobody likes it, and then he goes, yep, I told you, I'm ugly. Hopefully, when you watch this, you understand that I sympathize with him so much, but I want you to take my words and hopefully be inspired by them and understand. Well, first of all, I really do think, aside from like very rare situations, everybody is generally average looking attractive. Your health, your hygiene, your presence, and your purpose, those are the things that you optimize to make that attractiveness as high as possible. I would just love to work with him. I would love to talk to him. I'd love to listen to him more.
Not a single one. Even though I put on the best photos I can find, not a single soul wants to reply or write or give a person like me a chance.
But again, he says the best photos he could find. He says that he's looking his best right now. I mean, there's a lot I would change about his presentation right here.
Where am I standing in this all right now? Extremely depressed, extremely sad, feeling like giving up. I have sort of given up a lot on many things, and all these events through the years have made that I haven't been able to live a normal life, because my friends were commenting on me not looking good. My family's been commenting on it. Everyone's always pointing it out, and I get so frustrated, sad when people look away. They are like, "No, we don't want a guy like you as our friend." Like, eh. And I'm currently in a situation where
I've just never met people like that. Maybe it's the country that he lives in that people are that talk like that so bluntly.
I'm waiting for plastic surgery because that's the only way, and I'm telling you this right now, if you're unattractive, the only way for you to get a normal life is to work, earn up money, or go to the hospital, get psychiatric help. And if it's severe enough, they will give you free surgery or whatever. Get the surgery so you look better. You don't have to be a model. Just get the flaws out. Get the big issues. Because especially if you're a guy, this is also a guy problem. Because if you are a girl, it doesn't really matter how you look.
You know, right here, something about his body language changed about how he's expressing himself, and I think it's because now he's feeling more confident about what he's talking about instead of talking about his past. Immediately his vibe changed. Immediately he's more attractive in the way he's expressing himself. It tells me a lot, and it tells me that I would love to work with him and I would love to help him. Now, talking about plastic surgery, listen, I don't care if people get plastic surgery. I don't think it's a big deal. If you gotta, just make it a last resort. But for me, you know, aside from that 7th grade moment where I was like, I need a nose job. I mean, check this guy out. I love the way I look. The only reason I would get surgery on my nose is to fucking fix this damn deviated septum.
I've written with so many handicapped girls who have even bigger flaws in their appearance than me, and everything. They have no problem at all. Any girl can find any guy anytime they want. No issues whatsoever. This is a guy problem because there is less supply of guys than girls, because girls are the one that choose the guys, not the other way around, unless you're really attractive. Now I mean in general. So this is a guy.
I disagree with him. I truly disagree with him. I think it's coming from his own perspective, and that's why he sees the world through this perspective that he has. I think women have it just as hard. And to the guys that are seeing this, they're going, oh no, of course not. Guys, women get... You have to understand, just like him, he says, listen, there's people that he believes are uglier than him. He believes there's people that are more attractive than him. Then he believes there's many, many men that look just like him. There's women that are experiencing the same exact thing. It doesn't matter on what level you believe they are on. Oh, but they're on a higher level than me. It doesn't matter if you think that, because in their heads, they don't think that. They don't feel that way. Oh, women could have sex with whoever they want. Do you think that makes women happy? To just have random sex with somebody? To just let some guy have sex with them? Do you think that makes that, oh, now I feel fulfilled? No.
Guy problem. And if you're a guy, if you don't look good, get surgery. Only way. Get surgery. If you have the possibility, lose some weight or get muscles.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with people getting surgery. If that truly is the thing that will turn your life around, I'm fine with it. But I have a strong guess to the types of people that want that type of surgery. Once they get the surgery, there's going to be something else. There's going to be another problem. Because vanity never ends. The ego never stops craving validation. It's when you could shift your headspace and see relationships, see the world differently, is when you start getting different relationships, finding different kinds of people, with people that you're truly attracted to. Not attracted to based on, oh, society deems them beautiful. No, the attraction where your body is compelled to be closer to them. That's true attraction.
That's about it. It's the only thing. And I don't say that to be rude. I just say that's my conclusion, because this is something I've been suffering with for about 11 years, I think, if not more. 11 years I've been suffering with this. I've never in my entire life gotten a single compliment that's been real.
By the way, I hardly ever in my life have been told that I'm good looking or that I look good. Hardly ever in my life. I just chalked it up to the fact, because like I don't really care about my looks anymore, aside from being as healthy as possible. But I'm talking about like my face and stuff. I don't care about that anymore. I now like the way I look. I don't think anybody calls me ugly. And it just breaks my fucking heart that people call him ugly. But it's very rare that people tell me I look good, like aside from my mommy and my daddy. Yeah, and now my girlfriend.
I've heard so many times you're funny, you're doing this and that, that's nice. Like, personality is one thing. When it comes to love, at least for me, in the place I live, only matters how you look. So get surgery if you can. I'm repeating myself because I'm running out of things to say. And this is probably the only video I can ever do right now. If by any chance you guys will like this, whoever watches it, if even anyone watches it, I don't know. Hope it goes better for you. I hope you can sorta relate to me.
I acknowledge that he's not going on this video and he's not whining. You know, as I react to this, I'm more speaking to whoever is watching this video right here. I understand that he's making this video to help people. I understand that he is looking to actually get other men that are experiencing what he is to relate and to feel like there's other people in the world that are experiencing the same thing. I just wanted to acknowledge that. I know he made a part 2 because this was posted in my Discord channel, which you should totally join. There's so many great people that you could connect with there. I would love to see what that part 2 is all about. Let's get this video to 5,000 likes. If this video gets to 5,000 likes, I'd love to do a part 2, see where he's at now. I don't even know how further in time that second video is. But I would love to do the second one because I enjoyed doing this one just because it's a lot of topics that I don't usually talk about, because I'm usually talking about couples or flirting or anything like that. But to talk about this stuff, I think, is really important and really necessary. Maybe I wasn't so perfectly organized in the way that I was teaching things today, but I think it's because I was getting emotional about it. But I mentioned my audiobook earlier. It's free. It's called Iconic: Learning from the Greats, and it focuses on what I believe to be the only 3 things that are necessary to be confident, happy, and attractive in your life. This is not something that I ever want to sell. It's something basically just an extension of this YouTube channel. If you like what I have to say in these videos, it's super, super important that you get on that audiobook, because it is the foundation, the basis of what I teach, of my philosophy on life. It's not just about dating, it's about everything. Because, I say I'm a dating coach in these videos, but really, I'm a happiness coach. I'm a relationship coach. I'm an individuality coach. And I'm a social skills coach. Man, this one tore me up. I'd like to do a part 2. All right. That's it.